right, we're here. This is Backyard Brews and Reviews, episode number 8. And as you can tell, we have a special guest in the backyard, sweating with us. This is Ben Rice, famous for his Barley Me podcast.
Super
world famous.
Yeah, world famous. Mm-hmm. And stand-up comedian extraordinaire.
Also that, yes. Do all those things.
Ooh.
And boyfriend and guy with a day job.
Right. I do so many things. Jack of all
lot of
trades.
hats.
So many
Yeah.
hats.
Right?
A lot of hats. Don't wear any hats. Hats look real weird. I
As a
wore
rule.
one for the first time in a while the other day. It's still weird.
Give you a headache?
I have an odd-shaped head.
Yep.
My ears are just a little bit too high. Like, it's off. It's awful.
You just need a fez.
Yeah. Yeah. Yarmulke.
I've noticed somehow my head is getting bigger and bigger.
It's probably because of this.
Yeah, probably a lot.
It might have something to do
Yeah.
with this.
Please
I
have
cut
a
my hair
network.
and my head is smaller. Noticeably smaller.
You didn't even
Hats
knew
look
hats.
really weird on
Yeah.
me. Really weird. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and as always, my awesome hosts, our awesome hosts, Autumn,
yeah. Hi guys.
Lee,
Hello.
and me. I'm Shane.
The one who wears hats.
I do. I wear a lot of hats, and sometimes no hats.
Yeah.
You know,
Usually a hat though.
usually, especially when the hair's getting too long,
Yeah.
and styling it is just no, thank you.
Let's talk about hats some more.
That's the downside to having my mother cut my hair. She lives 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
it's
not even
free.
Oh,
She's a cosmetologist.
okay.
She's
okay.
legit.
Okay. That's fine.
Not like
It's not
my
some
mom
weird-
where they put a bowl
Put a
on
bowl
your
over
head
your-
and it's like
No, I had some really good haircuts for a while.
I had the same bangs of every single one of my 5 brothers and sisters. We all had the same bangs.
Eesh.
That's weird.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You guys were a
so
special
much.
family, huh? Real quick, Ben, can you kind of fill the folks in on what you do, or what's your podcast about? Tell them first about Barley.
So Barley Me is a beer podcast, unlike any other beer podcast in the world. I used my salesman's voice there.
That was good.
Because I go directly to the brewery every time. I talk to the head brewer, the HR guy I've done, the guy who does the canning, like just somebody at the brewery.
Yeah.
And I bring a guest who's got some sort of personality and some sort of business venture they're involved in. So there's always something interesting to talk to in case there's a dud on board, which has happened. So
Once or twice.
yeah. So.
Name
That's what I
names.
do. No, I'm not going to. You can listen to it and make the decisions for yourselves. But
Listen to it and then come back and comment below.
we don't get too we'll get in depth where we want to. It's pretty fun. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a seat of the pants. You can get real technical. You can get real weird. You can get real businesslike. It's wherever happens kind of podcast, and I have a lot of fun doing it. Like I really
enjoy it. I feel like
listen to.
you kind of it's kind of all over the place as far as where the conversation goes.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting. You had one, I forget where it was at, but you guys ended up talking a lot about beer judging and beer tasting, and
That was probably New Glory with Annie Johnson.
yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
one. And then you were at Bike Dog
Yep.
with Clay Nutting was there,
Yeah.
and you guys got into more of the
Building.
business,
Yeah,
like
and expansion and all that stuff.
and even the business environment in the area, and so it's two aspects, and it's really interesting. And
Yeah, I also tell them all. I have a couple rules for it that I tell everybody before I start. The first one is eat the mic. Second one,
that.
swearing's totally okay, guys. And the third one is I'm not an interviewer. So
Right.
if you think of something that makes sense to talk about after what they said, do it.
nice,
If you have a question, ask it. It's a conversation.
yeah.
And that's I think made it be pretty good because it's nothing like I imagined when I started. Where I was like, I'm going to interview them. We're going to get real intense and in depth. I'm like, that's stupid. Like that's just have
That's
fun.
hard to do.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of research. You guys have notes. I don't have any of that.
We try to do locations and have found that pretty difficult. How do you wrangle that every time? Because you're doing consistent shows and you're
every
on
2 weeks.
location every time.
Yeah, it's hard. Usually they'll come in waves, so I'll do like 3 or 4 in like a week, and then
Yeah.
I'll have a few to go through. But right now I'm back to, oh crap, I got to put an episode. Like, so they start reaching out to people like you've made
Right.
contact with before. Like, all right, we've met.
Right.
What do you think?
You've met me. Come on, let me in.
Yeah, let me in. And then it's like, then you got to find schedules because I have a guest. You got to match up 3 schedules.
Yes.
And then like their brew days, their brew times, their open hours, like all
Right.
that stuff. So it's
Got to be flexible.
a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just find a way. You'll find something.
Yeah.
I just hired an intern, so
Nice.
That is a good move.
Wow.
I'm paying him nothing. Just
Ooh,
beer.
interns are
Kind of
great.
return.
And
Hence intern.
so far, he's created a list of breweries and ones we've already done, and potential guests, and sent 4 emails. So
Man,
It's something.
killing it.
Yeah.
return on investment is huge.
Yeah. So far, I've booked 3 episodes since he took over. I have booked.
Aw.
Key.
So he's killing it.
I.
Aw.
So
Talk to the dean.
So me.
He's not getting any
Thank you,
credit
Jeff.
for this
You're the
one.
best.
Aw,
That's
Jeff.
what I meant. Jeff Brown.
We're
Really good
on Team
dude.
Jeff
Jeff Brown.
over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's like a smaller version of me. He's like 5'3", but we look exactly alike.
Push him,
That's so
push him too
funny.
hard. We're going to bring him over here.
Yeah.
was that the selection criteria?
Yeah.
It's gotta be me, just
Basically,
smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I put out a casting call for it. They're like, I'm just going to take Jeff. They didn't even apply.
I wanted to talk too. You do stand-up comedy as well.
Yeah.
Which is something is totally out of my realm.
It's not.
I love going to see it, but I've never even entertained the idea of trying it. That's a very
Yeah, you just try
scary thing to me.
it. No, you just try it, and you're real bad for a while, and then you get more comfortable. So like at least you can be bad well, and then you write a good joke
There you go.
that's a keeper, and then you write like a couple more, and then you've already got the stage presence to
Yeah.
sell them. So then you just keep doing it,
Nice.
and then you just flounder around for years.
That sounds fun though.
Yeah,
Sounds
super
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Not to me.
Doesn't pay at all.
I can't imagine being on the stage.
I've always wanted to do that though, because like you roll out and you're like, here's the weirdest stuff about me, and like
Right.
that's the most successful stuff. Is like the stuff that used to like make you like be the outcast and like more suitable, classy crowds is now the stuff that's like making people like
Yeah.
you. It's very like it's sort of the place to go if you want to get like feel good about yourself as a weird person.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. I don't know.
And did I hear? I seem to remember you said you're now hosting a regular show.
Yeah, yeah. The third Thursday of every month, I do a Cutthroat Comedy at Brookside Restaurant and Bar in Rancho Cordova. It's 6 comics for $5, and with those $5, you get 5 tokens
Nice.
that you give to your favorite performer or performers. Again, you get 5 for 6 people. So every audience member has to tell at least one person, nah,
None for
you
you.
ain't good. You don't deserve it. And then I pay based on how many tokens you get.
Wow.
So all the money that comes in goes
That's
out to
really
the performers.
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's kind of fun. You get to take 2 guys that don't like each other very much, put them on the same bill.
Yeah.
Like, put your money where your mouth is. You don't think that guy's funny? Make more than him.
I like that.
Oh, that's
It's
really
super
like
mean.
that,
It's
yeah.
super
Become a
mean.
oh, it's hella clever.
The first one's coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
See how it
so-
goes.
The 18th of August. And if that's already passed, whatever the third...
It just becomes a roast of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fun part I do add is I'm only hosting and like saying what the show is at the beginning so people understand it. But then it's a pass the mic, which is where you introduce the next person, so you get a chance
okay.
to like submarine them real hard before they come up.
And here comes Lamo.
Yeah, you get to like insult them before they come up.
Some celebrity deaths right before.
Yeah, just do anything you can.
Bring
to
them
just-
way down.
Yeah, yeah, it's all subterfuge.
Talk politics for the last 2 minutes. Of
Yeah, like I spent like an hour talking to the person that books that room about like how bad an idea comedy shows are if you're looking to make money. I'm like, now that you understand that, here's what.
What did you do? Talk about
And they
like
still went
Lady
for it.
Diana.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah. There we go. See,
Prince,
I did
David
Down
Bowie.
the road.
yeah.
it. Yeah.
See, bringing you down.
No, I'm not having fun.
So if you need a cooler,
Yeah.
I'll come in and bring the room down.
Right. That's basically you end on a high note, then you just kill the room and bring the next person up so that they have to recover back from what you just did. It's I mean, that's what I would do as a performer,
Right.
But it's up to the performer. They might just go, I'm going to end on a high note, and I'm just like, here's your next guy, and walk off. That you can do that, but you could also really destroy them. So it's fun. A lot of stuff can go on.
Awesome. That's exciting. You're the first comedian we've had on any of our projects, I think. So that's exciting.
There's so many better ones.
And I'm a fan of your work, so it was exciting. It's always exciting to have somebody that you're a fan of, which we get to do on our podcast a lot. We get to have.
He means a fan of the podcast. All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen your stand-up yet,
Exactly.
but I'll get there
Don't worry about it.
someday, maybe, eventually.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. I'm leaving.
We spent 10 minutes on the intro.
Yeah. Let's talk about the beer. You brought us a beer from Rubicon Brewing.
I did. I brought the First Contact Extraterrestrial Pale Ale. It's like an extra pale ale, but from outer space, because the taste is out of this world or something.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a little bit warm at this point.
Yeah.
It is a little warm. That's fine. But
We have to have a show cooler
Yeah. You should.
with the show name on
a
it
cool cooler.
Yeah.
that we can sell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Merch.
Branding. It's never too early to start.
Yeah.
So back to the beer.
It's
Actually,
good.
it is. It's still kind of cool. It's not totally warmed up yet.
Yeah.
It's not as
The
hot
malt
out
is
today
coming
as
out
it's-
like crazy.
The malt is coming out like crazy. I was just about to say it. It
Sorry.
feels kind of swampy.
Yeah.
Like,
Swampy.
in a way that it's not too harsh. It's a little bit of swampy.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's better cold. It wasn't my first choice. My first choice, they were out of the bottles, but it's fine. I was like, that's fine. I like First Contact.
Rubicon's
quite a
got
bit.
some pretty good brews in general.
Yeah, they've
I
got
would
a,
think. They've only had a couple that I wasn't a huge fan of, but generally, I've been there a couple times. They've got one in downtown Sacramento.
yeah. That's their main spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the oldest breweries in the region. One of the first people to make an IPA and make it a main beer they sell.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually pretty
They
crazy.
started the fad here.
Yeah, they're one of the founders of
Bastards.
you make an IPA and you make that your main beer that you focus
Yeah.
on. Because back then it was back when you wanted, pilsners and lagers and things like that. Like, we're going to go hops.
Yeah.
And now they get made fun of for not being hoppy enough. It's just a weird, it's like, your IPA is pretty tame.
We started this.
It's like, we started making it in 88. Are you kidding me right now? Like,
When does it stop?
yeah, exactly. They're like an old school brewer in that respect. They do a lot of tamer flavors. They don't go big on hops. They work with them the way they used to.
Yeah.
Just as an
I
accent
feel like
point.
people go big on hops
Yeah,
purely for like
To go big
dare
on hops.
reasons.
Yeah.
It's like hot sauce.
I bet you
right?
won't do like 6 hops, and they're like, I hell will 7 hops, maybe 8. They're like, whoa, oh, yeah, That's pretty much what it is at this point. It's not even like
I like your
it
bro.
might be for taste.
you
maybe
you do a good bro. I
Yeah.
like it.
but I don't think so.
The hops bro.
If your taste buds are burned off your mouth because of the hops, then can you really honestly say that you had a good tasting experience?
I feel like there's a
With the
Also-
zero tasting.
there's a parallel to hot sauce there, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they
It
started
is.
making hot sauce just hot, and then hotter, and then who can make the hottest hot sauce?
with the best flavor. That's what the other thing is. It's like,
See, I'm
Right.
Start adding
I'm
things in.
flavorful hot sauce.
yeah,
I love hot
too
sauce
hot,
that
then
tastes
I-
good,
I
but then if it's just
can't
hot to be
enjoy
hot,
it.
yeah.
yeah. But you can still make like a really hot sauce with good flavor
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
And then you just sweat. And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I have a weird thing where if I think about eating spicy food, I will start sweating and like turning red. And like,
So should we change the subject?
like my tongue will fatten up. It's like real weird.
That's a white thing if I've ever heard it.
Yeah. No.
I'm thinking about it.
Other thing I've done, wing eating champion.
Oh,
Wow!
Add another hat.
Yeah, it was a small local. One
Were
nobody
they
knew about.
spicy though?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's,
see, that's where I'm like, okay, respect though, because
Yeah.
it's like you never get the glass of milk ever. It's just
right.
you have to get used to the pain and just go and go and go and not think about it.
Yeah, this was
And
a
that's hard.
habanero sauce with a little bit of ghost
Lord.
pepper added, and then you had to,
man.
and it was 8 of them you had to do, and then you had to eat them all, and then all the jalapeno garnish. There's like jalapeno garnish
You
shredded.
have to eat that
If
too.
you eat that,
Oh,
then you have to
no.
sit there for 2 minutes before they allow you to drink
Oh
any milk.
no!
And
Just
so I won
sweating.
that
Out of your nose.
the first time. Then they did like a champions round,
Oh, God.
and they like soaked they like just brined it for like 3 or 4 days in that sauce. I picked the first one up, dropped it. I'm like, well, I lost.
Can you call this winning even when you win? It's even when you win, you
Yeah.
lose.
Well, the guy that won ended up going blind for 20 seconds.
that's
You probably
that's
really
not fun.
appreciated life after that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
That actually sounds good until you throw in the ghost pepper. Like
Yeah,
I think
did you
everything
win
else
anything?
probably would be pretty tasty.
Yeah, the first one was sponsored by Sodwork Brewing, so I got like a shirt and like some free beer from them. And
Nice.
I still talk to those guys. They still work there, and that was years
cool.
ago. So that
Yeah.
was like a nice little in for the
That'd be
podcast
like
as
a
well.
nice
Right.
trade off
Hey,
for,
remember me? I ate those hot wings. You
I'm
I'm the hot wing guy.
think I took your shirt off because it's too hot?
You have have to like meditate through
We
it.
can't
and be
forget.
Like, it's only a moment that will pass. It's only a moment that will pass.
Well, the real secret is
pass
not to
again.
breathe.
Right.
Because getting oxygen in there is what makes it just inflame.
You're like, okay, so the trick is like try and
Breathe through your
almost
nose.
die.
Just breathe through your nose.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh. Or your eyes.
Good.
Breathe
Yeah.
through your
Breathe
eyes.
through your eyes. Yeah. Oh God. Sorry, I came here.
That's great.
No,
I
it's
love
all right.
it. Woohoo!
I think just back to that same analogy, though. I think we're discovering IPAs that are good. They're not just because we're not drinking them just because they're IPAs, but
No.
people are recommending good beers, or
Yeah.
there are some that are just not good,
Right.
and I think the breweries are making them just because IPAs sell.
Right. Absolutely.
When on the reverse of that, just like hot sauce, there are some that are hot and flavorful. There are some IPAs that are hoppy and good
They
and balanced.
strike the balance and are very
Yeah.
tasteful and enjoyable.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yes.
with the new hop varieties that they make in labs, you can get more flavor out of certain things. You can add
Sure.
different, like a citrus nose or whatever that can help to balance that overwhelming just punch to the face.
Which is why I didn't
about
like
the
them
beer,
at first.
Actually, this is nice. We usually like it's good. Everyone, yes, woohoo. Okay.
This is why I asked him to come out.
Nice, thank you.
I don't get this in depth ever on the podcast, just so we know.
I've seen glimpses of it
That's-
though.
yeah,
and
I-
I'm like, oh, Ben could talk beer.
yeah, I can do it.
All right,
Whatever.
we need to have him out.
Lab
I don't even know there
created
are other hop
strains.
varieties. They're like the new weed. It's like those
Yeah,
new
they're
strains,
splices. Yeah, it's basically splicing the same thing. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, and they're
The
cousins.
They're a
future.
close
so-
cousin,
It's
right?
Right, they're
here.
close cousins. So boom.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's how I get high. Is I drink some IPAs.
Beer, good.
Yeah.
We do have a second beer, but I think we should do the music, and then we'll hit that second beer. Give us a
Music.
chance to finish these.
Yes.
Give it a chance to get nice and warm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm such an amateur.
Oh God.
Yeah, one more drink here. I'm gonna cut that out later. I don't know. So what? It is. It always does. I
yeah.
get.
You only have.
I'll edit the necessities, and then I'm like, it's good enough.
Whatever.
You have to edit in blink sound. Just to pad it out sometimes. Like a real blink.
Oh no. That's why he doesn't edit.
When the dialogue is so bad that you like have to put crickets in just to like stop him. Like,
You're
ah,
doing that a lot on this one.
yeah, well, that just got so awkward, you know. We just got to stop ourselves.
We actually, this is a viewer suggestion, which
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
super excited about.
First thing that we've done that was viewer suggested.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're constantly looking for suggestions because there's only so much music or beers that we know to try.
Yeah, and we'll probably
that are willing
be
to
fairly
try?
biased based on our personal.
That's weird.
Yep.
So if you want
I mean,
to throw
'cause
something
there's
at us
so
that
much
we
music.
might
Well-
not have done before,
But yeah,
I think there, and there is. We're trying.
do things you don't really go through. You don't know.
Well,
have
and
a
you,
history
and,
with.
and you get lost in how much there is.
yes,
Right? So then you go back to your wheelhouse. Well, we talked about that band before, but it's been a while. Like, we don't want to do that either.
That's true.
And we want to talk about things that they're interested in, right? That the viewers are interested in.
Well, that's why
Beers is a big
who's
one for
here?
me,
And I'm
though,
like,
right?
I don't even know what that is, but yeah, okay, because
Giant lizard.
I don't know. I just want to
It is.
learn about other stuff.
It is. It's good to be challenged every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
true.
this one definitely did that, I think, for everybody, right? Like,
I didn't feel challenged by it.
not challenged,
I
but-
liked it.
but
I
it's
was
not
like,
something
this
we
is
would've-
hard to enjoy.
Something we hadn't really listened to before.
right.
We're probably
Yeah.
all cognizant.
And
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been having people recommend me RX Bandits since
And
2004.
it's RX Bandits. I was calling them prescription bandits the entire, all of my life, actually. Since the first time anyone
Yeah.
has ever, like, clarified that it's actually RX, and, I don't even know how that started. I hope that's a common thing. Otherwise, it's just me, and it's been just me for, like,
No, I think people
10
have
years.
called them.
yeah.
okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Shout out to Absolute 187 for the suggestion.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
it's their album, their 2014 album, Gemini, Her Majesty, which that's pretty. We've talked earlier. That's a pretty regal
Fancy.
title.
Yeah.
So fancy. A little,
Bougie.
a little bougie.
Little bougie, a little bit
Little
confusing.
psychedelic. Little psychedelic.
Yeah, with the Gemini and only having Her Majesty when a Gemini is twins.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
One twin defeated the other.
Well,
and
maybe
became
that's
queen.
the problem. Ooh,
I'm pretty sure
I didn't pay attention to the lyrics that closely.
she's in one of their singles. Like one of the first couple of
Yeah.
lines says something about her. She's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
snooty and
Track
like
4.
fancy. Yeah, there we go. See?
Nice.
Yeah.
Stargazer.
Stargazer, yeah, that's the one. I listen
Impressed
to it.
what's going on around here.
And
It's just a few little factoids about the album, just so everyone is
yeah,
up to speed. It's their 7th studio album,
so many. Wow.
if like us, this is your first listening, there's a back library to go back and check out.
And like they were, it was rumored that they were ending with their last tour, and then they were like, no, it's just our last tour, and then that's also not true because this album just came out and they're going to tour again. So like, they're like the band that was gonna die but has decided not to die. So it's really weird that like we pick up on them at this tail end of their career.
And they're also from Seal Beach, California, so they're not too far off
They
from
were
us.
part of like the Orange County ska scene.
Well, and they
Okay.
formed in '95, so
When
absurd.
the
the
ska
peak
scene
of
was a
ska,
thing.
right? Like,
Stuff
so
was going on
so
down
that
there.
makes
Yeah.
sense that's what their sound
Yeah, we
was,
can't
where they
make
were
fun of them
from,
for that,
and
'cause
what
that
their
was-
when they came.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
This album surprised me. I really didn't know what to expect going into
Yeah.
it. I didn't listen to any of their back catalog beforehand, but I put it in the car when my family was on a road trip,
Yeah.
and I told my wife, I said, I got to listen to this for the show. I got to get it in when I can. Oh, that's fine. And I put it on, and the whole family enjoyed it. Like, everybody was
Yep.
like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, this is fun.
Yeah.
And it just was, I don't know what I was expecting, but this was not what I was expecting from this album
Yeah.
at all.
They kind of remind
good
me
way.
of how Modest the Bear started out like really sparse and like got more and more progressive, and like they're obviously a band that has cut their teeth on anthem-esque rock and have been dealing with having to write albums to energize entire stadiums full of people or college,
that's exactly
auditoriums
our
full
venue,
of
right?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's not lost in them at all, but like the amount of changing and progressing and being creative between the first album and this album was so like remarkable and stark. They remind me at times of Mars Volta, but then they also have like police,
heavy police vibe.
esque reggae.
Yeah.
Kind of dub thing going.
Meow Meow Space Tiger
Yeah.
was like a big part of that for me. So weird. I kept being like ska punk, police-esque reggae, anthem prog rock, listens to Mars Volta.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have you
Singles,
read your
harmonies,
notes
catchy
off.
melodies. Yeah. So much. But it was cool, and it never felt overwhelming.
Right.
And if it had felt overwhelming, I would have been like, nah.
See, and I need a moment of overwhelming once in a while. That was my problem with the album. It's like musically, it was incredible. It was really interesting musically. Like a lot of that angular indie rock that was popular in the mid 2000s, kind of like Pocket for Corduroy,
Yep.
or Mr. Metaphor from Sacramento.
Yeah.
Remember those guys? Kind of like that. But then like the vocals never really changed their tone. It never like quite met the excitement that the music was building
That
to.
was definitely the
Okay,
part where
yeah.
it still feels ska
Yeah,
to me, the vocals.
and kind of like anthem rock
Yeah.
Yes.
a little bit.
And I feel
Because you
like
get louder, but it still wouldn't like propel and like get exciting.
No release at all.
Yeah. Like, you're building.
build, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an endless build.
Yeah.
That's my one thing that I had a problem with. But I thought musically I really liked it, except for sometimes it'd be like, okay, I've heard this bass line.
I feel like that's probably like, I don't know. I can't say because I don't know them personally, but it must be very strange to be towing those two lines and
Yeah.
having to cater to people who like their new stuff and people who have been listening to them since the very first album. It sounds like people trying to like sit in both groups, kind of.
Yeah.
And maybe the way they stay is keeping the vocals fairly similar.
Yeah.
I would like to hear them be more Mars Volta. If that's what they're really into, then they should
Really go into outer space.
jump.
Just
dude.
own it and-
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know you want to use reverb. You know it.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Yeah, there were times I was like, yeah, they could use that.
Yeah, it would
You
be cool.
I don't know if you mentioned it when we were on the show, but Fall Out Boy, I kept getting
Oh yeah,
super
it
strong
did.
Fall Out Boy
Yeah.
vibe from the vocals. Like, not
Yeah.
from the music, of course, but
But from the vocals, yeah,
Vocals,
especially.
Yeah.
There's just
Super
there's
reminiscent.
just a like a nuance that
Yeah.
singers have from that area where they all kind of sound like they're from the Boston punk scene.
they've
Oh, Chicago, sorry,
Yeah.
Boston punk scene.
Mighty Mighty Boss
Chicago
Tones,
punk
all those guys.
Mighty Boss.
That's not punk.
No.
Fight me.
I'm gonna drink my beer now. But yeah. Man.
So we all enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it. It wasn't great. I probably won't go back. But
No?
I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah,
I'll
good.
check out other albums
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it is along these lines. Like, my initial understanding of the thoughts was just that straight up ska punk. That was
Yeah.
definitely not mine.
Which was, because we probably all heard about him for over a decade, so
yeah.
that was
They've
a
been around.
that was a legitimate what they were sounding like when someone first told you to check out RX
Yeah.
Bandits.
Yeah, they're like, oh
Like,
my gosh, you're
I'm
gonna
not
love
really-
RX Bandits or ska, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's why I'm not gonna love them.
Yeah, exactly. Because ska's an all in or not on board.
I feel like there are two camps: reggae or ska.
Yeah.
And you can't live in both.
That's not true.
Really?
I
Live in
like both.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I'm like that in many things in life. Like I'm kind of like,
So
I
much.
don't know. I don't know.
I don't just like, but it's one of those where I have my one band. I listen to Real Big Fish if I'm going to get my ska fix.
Yeah,
You know? That's really one and done. That's it.
Nice.
We're moving
Okay.
on. Yeah.
I feel like this is an album you could play at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the background,
And be
people would be like, yeah,
widely
no one would
received.
complain.
Yeah.
No one would
It'd be-
complain.
No
yeah.
one would even notice. It's
Yeah,
there.
it's there. It's not offensive.
Well, there is kind of
there's
some
some interesting things going on,
variation
if you are paying attention.
from
It's-
song to
yeah.
song too.
Yeah.
So you could do that without someone thinking you're just looping the same
Right.
Album.
thing. Yeah.
I may,
so it's
I may or may not
thumbs up
describe
for
it as 36-year-old dads wearing Billabong shirts, but that's
That's okay.
fine.
Oh gosh.
Those guys exist and they need music.
it's fine. Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with
funny.
Billabong
These,
shirts?
uh,
I don't know.
These guys are rolling through Sacramento on September the 25th.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they're playing Ace of Spades. I
Wow.
feel like that's the only place that people play. So if I say Ace of Spades, 95% chance that's correct.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
probably right. Yeah.
So if you guys want to see them, they have a legendary live show, and that's I feel like part of their existential draw.
That's true. Do you know who they're playing with? Who they're touring with? No.
It's a mystery. We'll find out.
I enjoyed this
Oh,
enough
wait,
though that
the
I'm actually
Deer-
considering going to
Is it
check
the
out
Deer
the
Hunter?
live show.
Deer
I was gonna
Hunter.
say because I could use Deer Hunter's vocalist in our
did I
Spanish.
know
I'm like,
that?
yes, that'd be so good. Because
Wow.
I was like, yeah, if Casey Crescendo was singing in this band, it would be so much better. Because he has just enough of that power behind his vocals. I'll go see that show now because Deer Hunter's great.
Yeah.
I really like those
Yeah,
guys.
cool. Go see them.
Awesome. That worked
They-
out.
Yeah, they toured with Circus Survive a couple years ago
Can't
too.
believe I knew that.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep going.
So
Circus
weird.
Survive they toured with a couple years ago. Those guys are good too.
Yeah.
Got a weird vocalist, but yeah, they're
Like the weird vocalist.
yeah.
I do.
He's not a fan, but that's okay.
But I actually enjoyed this album enough, and it's the more recent, that I am seriously considering going to see the show. Like to see what they do and how they perform live.
It sounds like it'd be fantastic
Yeah.
live.
And I enjoy Ace of Spades too as a venue. As a fan, it's a pretty good venue to.
Oh,
a good
Ace
time.
of Spades is like the only place where I don't get like anxiety attacks immediately. So it's got like a good vibe, and it's got like different sections for like who you are as a viewer.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Here's your up front going
I
crazy
don't
people.
like getting
Here's
stuck
your hanging
between
back.
like one sweaty guy's armpit and like the texting girlfriend who doesn't care about the show.
Yeah.
Like
Sweaty metal
with
hair
her
on
with
your
her
arm.
bright screen in my face, and I'm
Yeah.
like trying to.
Yeah,
that's not comfortable
And the
for me.
ceiling
so-
is above your head too. It's not like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm like further back in like the seating area, that's.
So this
I
is
appreciate
really
that.
local talk for us.
Yeah.
though,
Yeah,
way
it's
too local.
fine. We love it.
Yeah.
It's the best
Sacramento
venue
though
ever.
has a plethora of venues
They do.
in if you consider the full range, right? Like
Yes.
you have a
solo
great rock.
acoustic thing on to the Ace of Spades full band to what will be our new arena, which is full
This has been brought to you by
on pro.
It hasn't. This is a lie.
No.
This
we'll
has been
take your
brought to
money.
you by
We're
Noisy
just
Snail
people that
Studios.
care about stuff like this, sadly.
Everybody cares about
My
their,
life,
their
Ben.
venues, though. It's
Don't-
important.
Right.
It's a big part of it.
Oh, you care about multiple things? Boo.
Boo! Purism!
So before we wrap this up, we do have another beer. We've all finished ours. Anybody else want some more beer?
Shut
let's
up.
do it. I'll
drink more
Really?
beer.
What?
Is that a dumb question or what?
Beer it up.
Stop it. Oh my god.
That's what we're here for.
Lee, you can do this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
I have to make him do things.
I know, and I love it.
Purely, you can do
It's
this.
an unlimited release. Lagunitas The Down Low Ale. It was brewed and bottled by the Lagunitas Brewing Company in beautiful Petaluma, California.
And we get to watch him
Petaluma
pour
is
too.
really
to
beautiful.
pour.
Yes, sir.
My car broke down there, and I was so happy. Next to cows
Petaluma-
and like a sunset.
My wife wants to retire to Petaluma
I don't blame her.
because we haven't since the kids have been born, but we used to go once a year crabbing at Dillon Beach,
Crabbing.
which was a blast. We'd go with a couple families. We'd go in on a cabin, and we'd just spend the weekend there. And we'd go out crabbing and come back and have a crab boil.
That's
and
so cool.
it was a blast. But
Where
every
did you get your crabbing boxes?
I
you rent them or do you guys own
found we rented them the first time,
Wow, you guys
but then
are
we
like
found if we're going to do it a
real
couple years,
Californians. I just
if we're going to
live
do it a
here.
couple years, if we're going to keep doing it, so we ended up buying
I
them.
don't
They have Big Five
participate,
at
I
them,
can't
and
serve.
but yeah, we used to have a blast.
Can't
But you go through
snowboard.
Petaluma, getting to Dillon Beach, or the way we went, and every time my wife's like, "I want to live here."
It's also home to the legendary Phoenix Theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
A very good venue.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. many good bands played there.
Now, do they have segmentation for different types of people going to the shows? The Phoenix Theater?
Or
Seg-
segregation.
segregation.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
Those people can go there. Autumn goes to the side.
Texters.
Segregation just for me. They're like, this is where Autumn stands. Everyone else stand over here.
It's now segregated by the type of concert goer you are.
I go in. I'm like, I haven't even been here.
Yeah.
I'm so confused and
Well,
hurt.
we have a section for you anyway.
Yeah.
This is for the non-texting, non-headbanging, just enjoying the music but not dancing too much area. It's very specific.
They're
no
like,
drinking.
To the left
This is
if
the
you're gonna
nodding head,
judge
tapping
people
foot
the whole
section.
time.
Yeah.
To the right if you're too drunk to care. But
Yeah.
like left for me.
Yeah.
Sweaty people all over.
Yeah.
What are we doing again?
You look like you've showered this
Drinking
week.
this beer.
The
so
down
good.
low.
The down low.
Yeah.
Like it.
This is a copper ale from Lagunitas.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any
Information on a copper
information
ale.
on a copper
Yeah.
ale. I think they
ale?
made it up.
Is that
Copper ale's a Californian style.
Is
Okay.
it a mix
And-
between a golden and a red?
Yeah, it's basically an overdriven amber essentially.
Okay.
A little bit more hop to it,
I like amber ale.
but it's going to be more malt. It's going to
Yeah.
be more this golden color. There's really no definition. There's
Right.
no
it does
set.
look, it looks like a penny.
Right.
But I
That's
guess
kind of what you're going
a
for.
lot
You're,
of beers-
There is a
Yeah.
loosely
That's fine.
governing
but most
body.
beers look like that now.
Like
Yeah.
even the governing bodies, like I started looking up the
Branding.
beer judging
That's never
certification
curated.
stuff, and even they all have disclaimers at the beginning of every piece of material is all of this is pretty much arbitrary. We're just grouping them to have some sort of system.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, yeah, a copper's. It's not a hoppy amber though. That's different. It's just a hopped up amber, but it's not hoppy. It's just
and some
such a
people do
weird-
they get like that
it's
like
such
oh
a-
no wait
Just
wait
like,
yeah. Just let me drink my beer. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna get that kind of coppery color, and you're gonna get like a lot of malt and a little bit of hop, and it's gonna be something you drink in the summer mainly.
yeah it is
Like,
definitely a good summer beer.
good.
We've learned our
bubbly.
lesson.
Yeah.
We did the
More porters.
We did a
Yeah.
very heavy.
we did Anchor's Victory at
chocolatey-
Sea. That was
Yeah.
so tasty,
the
but it was so
sun.
hot.
Yeah.
It was turning into bread in our cups.
Yeah.
It was delicious bread.
Yeah.
It was good.
This is good though. I feel like it's a little lighter than that one.
Yep. Should be.
But Lagunitas, generally speaking, they're good. Like I haven't had too many that I'm like, this is the best beer I've ever had. But I've never had one either that I'm like, oh.
I'm really happy when they're at least on draft when it's like Coors Light.
Yeah. You can always get a Lagunitas IPA somewhere.
Right, right.
Yeah. And they're always fans of messing with hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing what they can with them. So
It's on their shirt, messing
Yeah.
with pops.
yeah.
Awesome. So I think a thumbs up on this one as
Thumbs
well.
up.
Thumbs up.
It was,
Thumbs up on the
yeah, it was a
album.
Yeah.
Thumbs up on the album.
Ten-
This is
ten
totally
grand.
I'll give it this
Have
one.
I'm a 3/4.
3/4
I'll go
and
halvesies.
halvesies. And the first beer, I'm gonna give it 3/4.
I'm gonna give it. Yeah.
And it might be the temperature. I'm
Yeah.
willing to.
It'll be
to-
better cold.
If it were winter, I would like it better.
Okay,
Here we go.
It's a bit more. Yeah.
that's fair.
It's a thicker, chewier. pale.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
So fancy.
Huh,
we're so
right on.
fancy.
That about does it. Where
Yeah.
real quick, where can they find your work?
All right. So Barley Me is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and if Google Play ever cooperates, it's on Google Play occasionally.
Yeah, Google Play.
Google. This is on YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're gonna
Look,
take our show down.
fix the problem, and I'll stop talking about it.
Don't use our show as your soapbox.
Yeah, you can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Barley Me Pod. Same thing for Facebook at Barley Me Pod. I have a comedy Twitter. It's at comedian Ben Rice. Facebook just Ben Rice.
Cool.
I don't really know. I don't have an Instagram for comedy because I don't take pictures.
It would be interesting to see how you could make that work, though.
It would just 12-second clips of it's the worst thing.
Or just pictures of you telling. I don't know.
It's terrible.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No point.
Instagram doesn't lend itself to stand-up comedy.
I don't think so. Many comedians disagree.
Damn it, they're trying.
Yeah, give them effort points.
Yeah.
Autumn, anything new for your band?
Just recording stuff. We have plans. Things are coming out. Secret things are coming out, but like soon.
Awesome.
And they're almost done.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, we have so my band and I don't play live very much anymore. We mostly just work on the music. What a weird idea. Yeah, we're just going to focus on it until it's really, really great instead of like dragging ourselves in front of the public and like learning all our mistakes in front of people's actual eyes.
Right.
And instead of that, we're going to like get really good and then pop out like daisies and be like great already. And it's the best plan ever, and I don't know why more people don't do it. You can go to work, you can pay all your bills. It's really like, revolutionary.
So you're being weird.
Yeah, I know.
Progressive thoughts.
I know. So
I think that's the real sellout.
We're doing art projects. Art projects is the loosely named term that we'll be releasing this year. A couple of them. Yeah. So
Right on.
follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Facebook.com/writeordie. Or
Really
you'll
sell it.
die.
I don't know.
Pretty good.
I've listened to her since like 2004.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh no, I didn't know. I didn't know.
We brought a fan.
I'm
glad it didn't come out till the
now.
end.
Yeah.
And not at the beginning.
It's pretty good.
Lee, what do we have to plug?
This stuff.
This stuff is good. Subscribe.
Back
like,
reviews.
share.
Yeah, check us out.
Yeah.
Noisy Snail.
Noisy Snail
Here Now.
Studios. Here and now.
Yeah, Here and Now show.
It's our
Talking
podcast.
about cool music and stuff.
Yeah, it's
With
only
really
the
cool music.
coolest
Yeah,
music.
Shane and I are doing some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
TV things now.
Yeah, we've added a little television element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have got friendly banter. They're
Yeah.
like charmingly funny.
Charmingly funny. Thanks.
We've had a few fireside chat episodes now.
We have.
Enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
That's nice.
It's good.
Yep.
It's intimate.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll call them. I
Yeah.
like that.
Intimate
definitely.
fireside
Have
chat.
Justin lay a fireplace.
Yeah.
You should have
audio
a
like
sound
this.
effect of somebody
Yeah.
lighting a match.
The
Yeah.
crackling of fire in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Chopping wood.
Like the howling of like a winter storm.
It's an awful fireside chat.
Don't forget to address the state of America
Please
in
do.
all of your speeches.
That's great. All right. Well,
That about does it,
now
though.
that we've made it weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started weird.
Sorry about that.
We just
Thank you for
carried the
having
weird
me.
all the way through. Yeah, it's good. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys later.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.